right. That was Double Dragon 1. Yes, applause indeed. Woohoo! You are now one of the few people who actually do applause after these games. Like you just kind of... All right, let's talk about Double Dragon real quick. So I'll start off with you know, it's tough. It's definitely a tough game. It does you have to like learn the combos as you're going, the best way to take down each opponents. Now that being said, it definitely rewards learning, and it can be punishing if you don't learn. But it's a fun game, and it feels fair. Let me put it that way. Obviously, if you lose all your lives, you have to go all the way to the beginning, which is why it might be in your best interest to if you're like not really good with beat 'em up games and you actually want to legitimately finish Double Dragon, it might be in your best interest to use that suspend point feature. No one's gonna make fun of you. At least we won't, because me and Gabe played through Super Mario Brothers 3, and we've been using suspend points the entire time, and we have no shame about that. Otherwise, that playthrough would be unwatchable because we're not the greatest at Mario Brothers 3. So yeah, I think suspend points is a nice way to get new people into a really good beat 'em up game. It was definitely a lot of fun. It's a lot of challenge, and it had that bonus versus mode I didn't even know existed that we got to try out, which is really cool. Like it's very rudimentary. You can't you can't have two different characters choose different things and they're using the same character, but it's surprisingly fun for the fact that I didn't even know it existed. So what are your thoughts?
I think it was really good. I think it is actually totally fair because when there were scene transitions, I don't know if you noticed, but like right before the Boba fight,
Mm-hmm.
um, you went back to full health.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
like
it
it's
is fair.
completely fair. You just have to complete each scene, and you'll be back to full health. Uh, like you said, it rewards learning, knowing your combos, knowing the effective way to take down each enemy, and
Mm-hmm.
each one is like aesthetically different. It's not like any minor changes or anything. It's
Mm-hmm.
very noticeable, like which one you're coming up against. So,
I agree.
um,
I 100% agree.
and we didn't get too far, but I'm sure that as you go on, it would be different mixes and matches of different ones. We were kind of just getting a lot of doubles,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think that's because it was first and through third mission they were trying to just showing us each one. But you would have to adapt your strategy a little bit, knowing that how each one reacts to your combos, and then knowing how to mix it up between the two, like you were trying to do when you had the two purple guys on you,
Mm-hmm.
and you were trying to separate them and try to take them out one by one. So
Right.
um, I definitely think it's a great the versus mode. I had no idea about.
Yeah.
Definitely fun for goofing around. I'm not gonna say it's the next 1v1 on Rust or anything, but it's got some potential.
It does. It does. It's very easy to see how this ended up becoming a franchise because this first game was just a lot of fun in and of itself. Just both the traditional beat 'em up mode and that versus mode obviously led into a lot of other different things as well in later games. Like a lot of games would acquire the versus mode. It's ironic too because going to Capcom Street Fighter series, Street Fighter 1, which not a lot of people talk about, was a beat 'em up game. It was you could play as Ryu and Ken, and you were just like going through different stages. It wasn't beat 'em up in the same sense as Double Dragon, where you're like going to like a city street and beating up a whole bunch of guys. It's like the opponents you have on screen is kind of like is limited. But yeah, it was originally beat 'em up, and then when they were when they were asked to make the sequel, they ended up making it a versus game instead. So that's how Street Fighter 2 came to be, and of course, the rest is history on that front. But of course, for those people who did really want to have the traditional beat 'em up game that they enjoyed with the first Street Fighter, that's how Final Fight was created, and that ended up being kind of a series in of itself. Which they have connections as well. Characters from Final Fight have appeared in Street Fighter, for example. That was kind of a tangent, but all that to say is that Double Dragon, it's a definite good first entry in a popular beat 'em up, and even introduced little versus mode, so that's really cool of it. I think it definitely holds up, especially with the suspend point features in place as well. So you could really complete the game if you wanted to. You just have to like be patient, learn, and like Annie said, you get your health gets restored during each transition. So you could definitely do it if it's something you really want to do. I would recommend it if you like beat 'em up games. It's definitely a lot of fun. Are you feeling about the same? What's your final thoughts on it?
Um, Absolutely. I think that it holds up. I think that some people would say that maybe it is just a little too difficult, or the learning curve is a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that getting into that is really what makes the game and makes it fun,
Hmm.
uh, as well as I think the cement for this game being on the it holds up list is the save modes. I think that really makes it all worthwhile. So if you're somebody who is um, having difficulties with it, you would be able to basically save scum it and keep going.
Oh, we do love saves coming here. You will get no judgment from us on the saves coming in because these games, it's something that comes up often on this show with NES games in particular. Nowadays you can buy like your Assassin's Creed game or your Breath of the Wild, and you will get your 50+ hours just exploring the world and whatnot. NES games ain't got big worlds like that, so they had to make the games difficult to make sure that you played it over and over again until you're able to beat it to get your money's worth. So keeping modern game design in mind when re-releasing these old games, I feel like if you're used to like games that how they are now, where they're like designed to just give you a lot for bang for your buck, while not being as difficult, coming into games like these NES games, which are meant to be like really difficult, can be a bit jarring for some people. So I appreciate that these save scum options exist. So like so someone who does exist in this time can like enjoy these games without having to, go all the way back to the beginning if you lose. It's still difficult. At the end of the day, you still got to complete these challenges. So it's not like, it's not like making an easy mode for these games per se. It's just avoiding the hassle of having to just, restart the whole damn game if you lost all your lives, which this game does. So I think that's nice. You can literally learn until you get through the level, and I think that's cool.
Absolutely.
Yep. So Double Dragon, thumbs up. Give it a try if you like the beat 'em ups, and if you never try to beat 'em up, not a bad place to start if you think it might be a genre you like. But yeah, moving right.